the shadow. There's a forgetting of our wholeness and who we really are. And even if we understand at an intellectual level that, yeah, I know we're not separate, we're all connected. The body, it has its own timing and process. Welcome to the current. How are you doing today? I'm doing a little tired and feeling some heaviness. Perhaps I'll weave that in. But first, let's go into the body. We're still working with the throat, the thyroid specifically as well, and the programming partner, the pairing with this one is the adrenals. And yesterday we did this beautiful exercise that I feel called to do again today. Using our imagination, we're going to create 2 figure eights. The top of the figure 8 will loop around the thyroid, and then the bottom of the figure 8 will go around each adrenal. We have 2 adrenals, the bottom of our ribs area and the back. So just sitting, closing the eyes, breathing, drop your shoulders, make the back of your neck long, the sides of the neck long. Feel your pelvis connected to the earth. If you're standing, your feet. And then one at a time, drawing a figure 8 around the thyroid, and then down and around the right side of the kidney, back up, and then down and around to the left side of the kidney adrenals. They're in the same area. So just breathing. And we're going to introduce, as we're doing this, and it might help with the drawing, and it might mix things up if you're doing too many things, but it doesn't have to be perfect. The intention of those infinity signs there is already there. So we're going to introduce the box breath, where we breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, and hold for 4. We'll do it together. So let's start breathing in for 4. And we can do the focus on the figure 8 on the right. Exhale for 4. Hold for 4. Figure 8 on the left. Exhale for 4. Inhale for 4. I'm screwing this up. Let's start again. Inhale for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold for 4. Inhale for 4. Hold it in for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold for 4. Inhale 4. Hold for 4. Exhale 4. Hold it out for 4. And just breathe normally. Whoa, it was 444. And I opened my eyes. Just breathe normally. And just notice those figure eights. Notice if one side is easier than the other. It's interesting for me, on one side it's really smooth, and on the other side it's like not forming properly. So just notice things. Notice these things in your body without judging them. And I'm just, we're in the final day of this key, Gene Key 31. The sun is amplifying this energy for the collective right now. And the shadow of this one is arrogance. And in the repressive nature, this arrogance is a deep fear, and we sort of defer our power to other people. And we kind of act humble, but really there's a fear, and we're giving our power away. And in the reactive nature, we have more anger than fear. And in this anger, we can become scornful and overpowering. And this arrogance, he speaks to this in the book, that it's like thinking that we can use our words or our thoughts to get out of the shadow. And ultimately, it's at the shadow, and at any shadow, we're in a victim state. And we have this forgetting that, and that's the gene key we're moving in tomorrow. Forgetting is the shadow. There's a forgetting of our wholeness and who we really are. And even if we understand at an intellectual level that, yeah, I know we're not we're not separate, we're all connected. The body, it has its own timing and process, and that's what we really need to surrender to. So I woke up this morning feeling like a burning in my chest and a deep heaviness. And I could judge that or just be with the burning and trust that my body is processing something. I actually went to bed last night with some pain around my heart. And I've shared in other videos, I have a scar right over my heart from a surgery when I was 10. Not on my heart, but on a bone right here in my sternum. Anyways, I was just tuning in and working. I've shared before, when we have a scar somewhere in our body, then the fascia can become tight in that area. And when I started this current, I was just expressing that as well, and how that scar tissue, if we leave the fascia getting tight, it can start to move through our whole web of our body. And we've been spending so many days and weeks working with the throat, and the throat, and speaking our truth from our heart. If the heart is closed or constricted in any way, that's going to affect how we express and are able to communicate ourselves from our heart, versus from in the shadow. We tend to lean into the intellect and think that the intellect, again, can lead us to our creative genius and our authentic path. And yeah, it's just to share, that And I didn't want to go live today. I didn't feel, it was like, kind of a shame, a deep shame, maybe underlying shame, or, some feelings of just, what do I have to offer? and not to buy into that, just to let it burn off the body and really honor the body and the process that it's going through, as we are literally transforming as a species right now. And more of us are moving through, like, looking at the shadows that have been in our DNA for centuries, eons, and just honoring the process of this transformational journey and starting to step into our gifts, that it's just like, not like, oh, I've arrived, now I'm good. But the gift level is very up and down, and honoring that process and trusting that, for me, it's about trusting that when I'm in a dip, in a low, and my body's feeling something that's really uncomfortable, that there is some kind of breakthrough that can occur, so long as I don't attach to to any story, or create a story in my mind about what my body is doing, and trust the intelligence of the body. And yeah, the acidic level of this one is humility. And that humility, he says, like, a true humility is basically, as with all of the acidic levels, is the obliteration of the individual I, and it's merging, a true merging with the whole at a physical, spiritual, mental level, which I can't claim to speak from experience on that one, but it's beautiful to sort of taste some of those frequencies at certain times in life. So it's an interesting contemplation to finish with today, is, what is my life teaching without words? What is my life teaching without words? I'd love to hear anything that came up for you today. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Much love.